World. A pleasure to have you. We now move on over to some more updates and over to Sudan, where thousands of children in the country's Darfur region are facing an imminent risk of death as malnutrition soars in the besieged city of Al-Fashir. 4 United Nations agencies have issued a grave warning, saying more than 250,000 civilians, half of them children, have been cut off from food and medical aid for over 16 months. Health facilities have collapsed, leaving thousands of severely malnutritioned children without treatment. Al-Fashir remains the last army stronghold in Darfur amid ongoing battles with the Rapid Support Forces. The UN agencies, the IOM, the UNHCR, UNICEF and the World Food Programme say famine conditions persist across Sudan, with over 30 million people, including 15 million children, in desperate need of aid. So far, only a quarter of the $4.2 billion UN Humanitarian appeal has been funded. We're now joined by Desmond Majekudumni. He's a political and environmental activist, and he joins us live from Lagos, Nigeria. Desmond, what more can you tell us about the war in Sudan? Of course, we've just heard some severely alarming figures there and the humanitarian implications of it.
Indeed, those figures are extremely alarming, extremely alarming. 15 million children in a very severe situation. Children. So the reality is, what can possibly justify doing that to these children? You know, what cause can possibly justify that? And I'm not pointing fingers at either side. I'm pointing my fist at both sides. How can they justify what they are doing that is affecting the children in this way? I mean, it's bad enough that at least 15 million adults are being negatively impacted, driven into starvation, driven into disease, driven into early, painful death. I mean, that's bad enough. But the children, were the children part of their quarrel, part of their argument that has driven them to this? It is horrendous, it is disgusting, it is totally unacceptable, and there's one thing that the perpetrators on both sides are probably not really cognizant of. The consequences of this horrendous action that they perpetrated on these children will be unavoidably upon them. These are the fundamental laws of the universe. Action begets reaction. They call it retribution in the Christian religion. They call it kifara in the Islamic religion. It is called karma in other religions. So they should be very, very wary of what they are doing and bring ameliorative measures immediately. Thank God for the United Nations, the UNICEF. They seem to be really, really trying. But the world needs to make an outcry. What are we doing as citizens of this tiny little planet, our only home, Earth? What are we doing? Are we making an outcry? Are hundreds of millions of us in all different parts of the world, different continents, appealing and making an outcry that this must stop? Hideous.
Yes, thank you very much, Desmond, for joining us here on the programme. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. We now move on once again, and internet access in Cameroon is significantly disrupted as protests continue over alleged irregularities in this month's presidential election. Internet monitor net blocks. Cameroon's Constitutional Council on Wednesday, October the 22nd, threw out all petitions contesting the October the 12th presidential election, clearing the way for full results to be announced. Paul Biya, the world's oldest ruler at 92, is widely expected to maintain his 43-year grip on power despite an energized opposition pushing for change. Some locals have reacted to the situation. Let's listen in to what they had to say.
Nous avons voté et nous savons que la majeure partie des Camerounais ont voté l'opposition, M. Issa Chiroma. Mais aujourd'hui, on nous déclare le contraire. On nous fait état de fait que certains PV ont été falsifiés. Et même dans le bureau de vote où nous avons voté, nous recevons plutôt des messages contraires au rapport que nous avons eu au moment de dépouillage. Vraiment, c'est regrettable.
C'est là pour ça que vous voyez les manifestations à travers tout le pays. Parce que nous qui avons voté, nous ne se reconnaissons pas dans les résultats qui sont annoncés. Nous savons que l'immense majorité des Camerounais ont voté pour un candidat que tout le monde connaît qui s'appelle Chiroma. Mais aujourd'hui, on nous donne les tendances, franchement, c'est autre chose. Donc on n'attend rien d'un coup constitutionnel, on n'attend rien de ce verdict. Et puis voilà, c'est la rue qui va grandir de toute façon. La rue.
Les unes ont parlé, nous devons avoir notre président Issa Chiroma qui doit prendre le pouvoir et redonner espoir à la jeunesse. Nous sommes partis, nous sommes presque partis. C'est les jeunes qui doivent venir remonter les familles. Mais s'il reste encore au pouvoir 7 ans, vous imaginez les parents continuer à s'occuper des enfants. Après les diplômes, il n'y a pas de travail. Il n'y a pas d'avenir. Tous sont en train de partir au Canada. Tous sont en train de prendre la mer pour aller en Europe. Alors, qui va construire le pays? Nous sommes partis. Hein? Qui va construire le pays?
Now we move on to our final story of the hour. Ghana's former First Lady